Hello, everyone. My name is Edith, also known as the Lady E, and welcome to the Lady E Effect podcast. For those that have just first came on our platform, we basically interviewed purpose-driven professionals worldwide that are doing amazing, amazing things around the world. If that is something that's interesting to you, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and all of our audio streaming platforms. Today, I'm super excited. We have this wonderful woman that is going to speak on a lot of great things today. So, without wasting any more time, I will give you the floor and please introduce yourself and let us know who you are.
Hi, I'm Toni Harris Taylor in Houston, Texas. I am the founder and CEO of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I teach entrepreneurs how to get known, get connected, and get paid. My bun is covering up my bubbles here. I'm also a multi-unit award-winning franchise owner with Network and Action Global Partners, where we bring business owners together to build community, connections, collaborations, and get more cash. And then lastly, I am a 12-time author. Um, and actually, that's not last. I'm also an AI marketing certified consultant. So I have a lot of hats that I wear. They all come down to marketing and networking. I believe that relationship marketing is the best way to grow your business. And so thank you, Edith, for letting me be on your podcast.
Of course. Wow, that is so phenomenal. You touch spaces on a lot of things. So just want to get right into it. So my first question for you today is, what is it that actually drove you to the point of actually establishing your own company?
Yeah. So in 2012, November 2012, my husband passed away. My second husband actually passed away. And the first husband and I divorced, and then he passed away. So looking at those two significant deaths led me, at that time, I was a financial advisor. And it led me to say, life is short and you better do what you want to do and make you happy. And so that's when I said, it's time for me to do my thing. At that point, I was a widow and didn't have, my kids were grown. And if I were going to take another drastic step, because my brand is all about being drastic, my life is about being drastic. Um, if I were going to take another drastic step, that would be the time to do it. And so that's what motivated me to start um my own business.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, thank you for being open and sharing that. Of course, my condolences and prayers go out to you and your loved ones. That is something that a lot of women don't really have the courage to share. Definitely, as a woman of faith, I'm a firm believer that everything in life happens for a reason. And you have a very resilient mindset, especially in regards to naming your company and just operating in that in terms of just living your life drastically, you know? So
Yeah.
that's super important. I definitely want to dive more into your company, especially
Mm.
being a business owner, a female entrepreneur. Why do you believe that as a woman of color, in the space that you're in, industry wise, is it important for you to operate in that type of industry?
Yeah. Well, being a marketing and sales coach, one of the things I've realized, Edith, is that most entrepreneurs love what they do. They just don't want to market it or sell it. And especially women, and even more so women of color. And I thought that if anyone could help them get out of their comfort zone, get out of their head and get into their heart, it would be me. And that's what motivated me to really get myself out there. Now I serve mostly service-based entrepreneurs, and my clients are mostly women. And But my target demographic is women and men who just don't like the marketing and sales part of their business. But without that, there's no business. And that's the thing that I'm stressing is if you don't understand the importance of marketing and selling yourself, selling your business, knowing why you're different than someone else, then you don't have a business. So, part of my business is making sure that others can get their purpose met, um, so that they can reach their target audience with confidence.
Wow, you're right. And thank you for sharing that. Marketing is, a lot of people would say, is kind of like the bloodline of your business.
It is.
Yeah, it's important to learn how to market. It's not, just something where you just post something and just share. There's a strategic way, I'm sure, that's something that you can agree with in terms of how you value yourself, in terms of taking your gifts of service, your gifts of practicing, and being able how to learn how to transform it in a way where you can provide an irresistible offer, I would say.
Sure.
So that's important. And like you said, I mean, most companies, they want to work it, they want to focus on like their services and things like that. And they may not want to market or they don't know how to. So it's important to have someone with your expertise to teach them the importance of doing so, let alone, I'm sure, providing the type of services to get it done. So thank you for sharing that. I have,
Can I add something to that?
sure.
So, and when I say marketing, it's broad. I think I have it right. Oh, yeah, I have it right here. I have a chart that has the marketing methods, and look at how many things you can do to promote your business. But which one of these things or which few of these things are right for your business? And most people today think it's about posting on social media. And let me say this, if you sell a pretty earring, you can post on social media all day long and people will click and buy your earring. But if you are selling you, your intellect, your knowledge, your expertise, well, then you have got to know how to build the relationships where people will get to know you, like you, and trust you. And then they will want to open doors for you. It is when you sell intellect and you're selling expertise, it is not a matter of just posting. And too many entrepreneurs think they can just post, and there are too many influencers who make it look easy, and it's not easy. And I need y'all to be clear. Influencers buy followers. And if you want bought followers, you can go and buy followers. Those people aren't loyal. They don't know, like, or trust you. So you're just putting money out into the wind. And so my advice for all business owners is to master the marketing before you master your craft. And
Mm.
I see a lot of people getting certified, getting degrees, getting X, Y, and Z, and they still not making no money because they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to attract their target market and then close the sale. Spend time getting certified in that.
Mm. Mm. I'm so happy you shared that because I'm sure in a lot of capacities, when we have conversations about business, entrepreneurs, professionals, etc., they don't say what you say, what you just said. And it's super important because, yes, social media, it can be a game changer depending on how you use it. But every industry, every particular business is its own business. So understanding the formula of how your business, especially service-based wise, and that was a perfect example you mentioned with earrings. Earrings is not a service base. Of course,
Right.
there's service behind the work of creating it, but whether you're doing HVAC or you're doing consulting or you're doing just some type of service-based business, everybody cannot market the same. And I love how you also touch bases on influencers because I mean, they get paid to influence. It's not the same as a business, even if they, outsource their marketing services to another certified or expertise type of company, there's still a specific way that may or may not work in terms of that service-based company. And you really touch bases on what's important because, social media, there's a lot of fictitious things online, just
Mhm.
like there's filters
Mhm.
or, all these different, whether it's AI or websites that are just not really giving you the reality or giving you, the one-on-one in terms of what you need to understand as a business owner or as a business entity, how to execute the closing of pertaining that client because they don't start as our clients, they start as prospects. So there's a formula that takes place to convert into that, not even just client, but we don't just want clients, right? We want, loyal clients. We want
Right.
regulars,
Right.
and
And we
even
want people who will refer us, say our name. One of the things I'm most proud of is my clients send me more business and each other business as well. So
Mhm.
my community is one of the few that I know of where everybody in the community is out to help and support one another.
Yes. And I also want to ask this next question because it's super important. I love the fact that you also focus on the relationship marketing. And I don't
Mhm.
think too many people really dive too much into that. So let's say there's someone that's coming across this program and they know nothing about relationship marketing. How would you like to share with them the meaning of them for them to be able to comprehend that term?
Yeah. So relationship marketing is about having a strategy to network, show up where your people are, the people you want to serve, and building a connection with them so that they will want to refer you. They want to do business with you. They want to open doors for you. That is relationship marketing. Well, it's just like a relationship for romance. If you want to find a relationship for romance, you got to show up where your target market is. The best example I have for that is the basketball wives. They do not hang out where regular, everyday old men are. They research those men, they know what causes they like, they know what parties they're going to, and they show up with intention. And I think most of our audience can relate to that as well. Now, it's the same in business. You got to show up with intention. You got to research the people you want to connect with. You got to research your audience. You got to know what to say to them. What are their pain points so that you can be attractive to them, so you can solve their problems. My clients are frustrated, overwhelmed. They are not making the money they know they desire to make. I know that about them, and they will have a heart to make changes in their clients' lives. And they're frustrated that they're not making the impact that they want to make. So I know that. And so when I go into a networking situation, this is what I'm saying to my clients, to my prospects. So relationship marketing starts with you. And my book is called Show Up, Be Up, Follow Up to Blow Up. Right. And so it starts with you showing up in the right places with the right people, and then taking the time after the event to build a connection. Like you and I met you through an introduction from my franchisor. We got on a Zoom call. We got to know each other. We liked each other. You invited me here. I'm now speaking to your audience. Somebody in your audience might reach out to me and want to work with me. That is relationship marketing.
Yes, it is. And thank you for sharing that. It's very important that that was broken down too, because relationships, of course, in life are very necessary and intentional. Despite the pros and cons of whatever may take place, there's always areas that you can learn,
Yes.
whether it's personal, professional, etc. It is super, super important to understand, especially in the area of entrepreneurship and business, how to be able to strategically utilize relationships, not where you're taking advantage of people, but you are able to intentionally articulate or present yourself in a way where people understand there's a mutual benefit. You know,
Sure.
nobody gets left behind. And I think that's something that's super important, especially with relationship marketing as well. You know, a lot of times, especially in the space of sales, when people think of sales, especially like a prospect or maybe a customer that doesn't understand how deep sales are, they basically look at it in terms of like, oh, what do you want to sell me? Or da 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 da,
Uh-huh.
versus understanding the value in the service. And it's important, especially with how we articulate things, as a business, especially service wise, whatever the service is, to present yourself, like you said, do research on your prospect, do research on the clients that you want to be able to provide your valuable service to, and, you know, show up, do what you need to do, and, somebody will connect with you. So, this is not, just anything in terms of
Right.
how to go about it. It's definitely a strategic mindset and a very intentional space in terms of your approach. So we appreciate.
Now, the other thing about it too is it's not a take scenario. So relationship marketing is about how you can help others before they help you.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't make it up. It's in the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
More happiness in giving than there is in receiving. Part of building relationships is asking a pertinent question that I teach all my clients to ask. What are you working on? How can I help?
Mm-hmm.
What are you working on? How can I help? And if every entrepreneur was asking each other that, it would be so much easier to build our businesses because you would then be able to support someone else. And on the other side, someone else is supporting you. So in my community, I teach my network how to help others before even you receive help. And guess what? You'll be on the receiving end of somebody else's help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's super, super important. And it's such a simple question, but it's
Sure.
so powerful at the same time. And, especially when it comes to business owners or entrepreneurs, there's numerous things that can be on our head, and whatever obligations and things that we need to execute, whether it's that day, that quarter, that period. But simply asking that question, I'm sure, is a huge significance, because when
Yes.
one just taps in to that in terms of like, okay, what do I need help with? And they can kind of slow down and reprioritize, okay, what is most important right now to focus on? It can be able to be translated to who
Sure.
that's being asked from, and, that relationship can extend. So thank you so much for sharing this insight. It's really, really important, especially as business owners and entrepreneurs, because there's many companies that have been in business, especially service-based businesses, for years, that,
Mhm.
they can make sales and things like that, but that doesn't mean that they're really implicating all of what you shared today. So this is something that I'm sure the audience and listeners will definitely be able to grasp, especially with how simplistic that you've executed, each area that you've shared in terms of your points today. So I have one last question for you.
Okay.
So for those that know about the Lady E effect, of course, we love to talk about personal development, entrepreneurship, lifestyle, but purpose. We're very intentional about the purpose through anything, service-based, content, what we have to offer, as well as our guests particularly. If you were to take the word purpose in regards to you, how would you share with the audience, through your business and what you give to the world, why purpose is so necessary and intentional from your perspective?
Absolutely. So it is the foundation of your business. So let me tell you a quick story. In 2013, I hitched my wagon to Constant Contact, the email marketing company, and became one of their top 5 sales reps in the world in 3 years.
Mm.
They then collapsed their program that I was a part of and drastically cut their commissions. And I was like, I'm not going to continue with them. And I struggled for 3 years, Edith, trying to figure out what my purpose was. What did I really want to do? Because I was at that point living Constant Contact's purpose, which was email and marketing and social media marketing. I did have a love for small businesses and I have a degree in entrepreneurship, so I knew I loved that, but I couldn't figure out what my uniqueness was. So my husband's at this point singing the Get a Job song. I hate that stupid song. And but I didn't know what else to do. And so I started interviewing for jobs while I'm waiting for 2 six-figure job offers to come through. I talked to a friend of mine who's a money mindset coach, and she said to me, Toni, what's your why? And I told her, and she's like, oh, you've already accomplished that. Perhaps you need a new why. Perhaps you need a why that will motivate you to want to stay in business. Go create a new why and come back and tell me what it is. And why and purpose are synonymous to me. So I said, okay, I'm going to go and do the work and come back. And she said, write down everything you know you want to do, you don't want to do. Let's see what rises to the top. So I did the work and I came back to her a couple weeks later and I said, my why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps so that they can be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource, I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. She said, Toni, that's perfect. What would you need to do to get paid to connect people? I said, I think I would need to start my own networking group. She said, why don't you? I said, absolutely not. Mm-mm, no. She said, well, she said, don't worry about the how, it will show up. I was like, I don't think I want to start a networking group from scratch. The very next week, Network in Action came into my life.
Mm.
Someone I had met 3 months earlier followed up and introduced me to the franchise brand. And here I am 5 years later. It hasn't been a perfect 5 years for sure. But what I will tell you is every time it's gotten hard, I go back to my why. I go back to, am I living my purpose? Am I living my why? Is it still my why? Because ultimately, sometimes we outgrow our why.
Mhm.
And for me today, it's still my why. It's still my purpose. So the reason you got to have a why, the reason you got to have a purpose, and your purpose and why to actually speak on, I have a talk around success starts with why. And that's because once you identify your why, it helps keep you in going in the right direction.
Mm.
But if you don't have a solid purpose, and your purpose and why have to be about the people you serve, it can't be about your family. I've seen it more and more. Everybody, a lot of entrepreneurs are like, well, I want to create generational wealth for my family. I want to leave a legacy for my family. You'll let yourself off the hook if it's about your family.
Mm. Mhm.
But when it's about the people you're meant to serve, see, if I don't get up and go when it's hard, then the people I'm meant to serve that I haven't even met yet will never get what I have to offer.
Mm.
So the purpose is everything.
Mm. Spot on. That is such a beautiful, beautiful example that you mentioned. And I love how you also touch points on why, even from a perspective where when you think about mothers, fathers, parents, right? A lot of times they do this. I have to do this for my children. I have to be in X,
Sure.
Y, Z for my children. And of course, your children are important. Family, it is important, but God also intentionally, individually created us with a significant and intentional purpose. So everything that you touch bases on is you also have to do it for God. You also have to do it for yourself. He created a vessel within you to be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. And a lot of times, this is what we are blessed with businesses to do. So, if the why doesn't involve you in terms of understanding that you were created with an intentional purpose, family or not, you can lose yourself, like you said,
Right.
it
Right.
can get to a point where it becomes about everyone else. So, thank you for sharing that. That is super, super important. I know the audience will definitely be able to just gain all of the wisdom and the insight and knowledge that you shared today because, especially in the area of life of where all of us may be, we know here at the Lady E Effect and just in general, personal development, right? This all
Sure.
connects back to personal development.
Sure.
Your business has a lot to do with your development, whether you change your
Right.
mind, you understand what your why means, your purpose, your why are in sync. I absolutely agree with that. And understand that everything good or bad, it's connected to that purpose. So, with that being said, if there's anyone that would like to connect with you, how would you like them to connect with you?
So they can go to my website, drasticresults.com. You can also find me on all the social medias under my name, Toni Harris Taylor. And then if you want to schedule a conversation to see how I can help you grow your business, go to meetwithtoniharristaylor.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on our platform and just blessing us with your knowledge, your wisdom, your wonderful, wonderful business, and your areas of expertise. We're truly honored to have just an amazing, phenomenal woman like yourself. And if you have anything coming up that you would like to share with the audience or
Sure.
anything that you would like to share, you're welcome to take the floor.
So I have a monthly networking group that meets the second Wednesday of every month from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Central Time. So you'll have to translate it into your time zone. But come meet my family. They are members that are all about helping each other to grow. So you're welcome to join us. And if you're interested in doing that, just reach out to me and I'll get you registered.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been just wonderful and pleasant to just hear you speak. Definitely understand why you named your company what you did. Purpose is just all in you and around you. And I just love how you're very drastic and intentional about sharing that with others. That's such a beautiful thing. So, with
Thank
that,
you.
of
And
course.
you are beautiful as well. And I just want to congratulate you on continuing your podcast and growing your business as well, because it's not easy out here. And consistency is the key to success. So, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. With that being said, thank you all so much for joining us today. For anyone that, again, is just coming across our platform, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all social media handles, The Lady E Effect, as well as all of our audio streaming platforms. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye.